Okay, so now recently in social media, there's been a lot of debate going on about whether can you afford whatever car based on whatever salary or whatever budget. Okay, can you afford to buy what car? But a couple of weeks back, I announced that I this service whereby I'm helping people to get more money back from selling your cars. And the response has been terrific, by the way. So those of you, if you have submitted your information in the form, which is also available in the description section of this video, all right, that I have not been able to respond to yet, or we have not been able to process yet, please be assured that it is simply because that there's just an overwhelming number of people coming to us, and therefore we needed to take a bit of time to process all the information and also uh, to 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 find out what is the best, most realistic price to sell your car. Now, the problem, as we have been going through a few of the applicants, is that we notice that there are a lot of people out there in the market that are now in a position where you can't afford to sell your car. Now, that sounds crazy, but the reality is very simple. A lot of people are in a position whereby the market value of their cars are below the amount that they owe their banks. Now, that is properly scary. See, what this means is that if you want to sell your car, okay, not only do you not get money back, you're going to have to top up money to the bank as well. So basically, right, you're already losing your car, and somehow you have to pay money to people to take your car away from you. So this is not a new phenomenon, by the way, and this is a reason why sambong bayar is a very popular thing. I don't encourage that for the record, but this is why sambong bayar happens. You see, the when it comes to selling a used car, and if you have a loan on that car, the bank needs you to settle the loan before the car can name transfer. So that's why when you are selling from private seller to private buyer, there's a lot of people find it a hassle because number one, the seller first needs to fork out the cash to settle the loan before the transaction can. It means that before the buyer pay the seller, seller has to come out with a chunk of money to pay off the loan first. Okay? Then only whatever the next steps can take place. And a lot of people are in that position whereby they just don't have that amount of liquid cash available to instantly settle the loan. Now, some of you, and now I foresee that there are people in the comment section going to say that if you don't have the money, you shouldn't buy the car, yada, yada. Okay, we put the argument aside. That is valid, but we put that argument aside. The reality is that's what's happening. People wanting to sell their car, they don't have the cash to settle the loan. So that's why a lot of people still take the hit and just dispose it through used car dealers, because the used car dealer will be able to fork out the cash, pay the bank straight up, pay the bank on your behalf, okay, and then after that you can and they can release and you can get the car, okay, and you can they can transfer the name of you. So that's what a used car dealer does. When you go and when you trade your car into a used car dealer, what the used car dealer is that the used car dealer must first directly settle your bank loan. Okay, if let's say like tak cukup, if the value of your car tak cukup, you have to top up the balance, and then the car can be disposed of. But at the very least, the used car dealer has taken care of a large chunk of it, even though you still have to part with money. So this is where our consignment selling by consignment basis has helped some people, whereby they initially when they first go to a used car dealer, the best case scenario that they got was, let's say they owe the bank 150,000. Used car dealers rata offering 120, 130,000. But when you sell by consignment, what happens is that after deduct all the transaction fees and whatnot, the seller still get back, let's say, 155,000 ringgit, which means that there's enough cash to settle the loan. There's also, like, some money to take back. Not much, but at least he doesn't have to take money out. So where the consignment service has helped a lot of people is that it took them from having to top up money to the bank to the point where they either don't have to top up or they still get a bit of money back. And that is a very, very critical difference in the finances of a lot of people. But of course, the thing is this: it is better that you don't allow yourself to be in a position whereby you have to top up money at all. Okay? Now, some of you will say, yeah, you to not get into this situation, first thing, you shouldn't take loan, just buy cash and be done. Yeah, easy to say, right? But you see, the thing is that, right, for me, I don't see anything wrong with taking a loan to buy a car, provided provided you have the means to service the loan. Okay, it means that and I don't agree with people overstretching your finances. So let's say, for example, people who I think setting aside a budget of about, say, 10, at most 20% of your income on car loans, that to me is sensible. 30%, in my opinion, is really, really pushing it. Of course, there are also people who advise that you shouldn't spend, you shouldn't buy cars that exceed your yearly income, which I think also is fair advice. So let's say, for example, if your salary is 8,000 ringgit, then you ideally, you don't want to be buying a car that is worth more than 8 times 12, which is 96,000 ringgit, right? You should cap your budget 96,000 ringgit, and you should cap your installments to about 800 ringgit per month. So for me, right, the way I look at it is, right, the tenure of the loan actually, to me, is not that important. But what you want to really pay attention, what you really want to, and this is not financial advice. I'm not a certified financial advisor, but this is just practice that I'm sharing with you, is that what I would typically do is, the loan tenure, I don't really care. But what I do watch out for is, I will put a down payment. My down payment will be big enough that I insulate myself against the first one, or if possible, first 2 years of the car's depreciation. So what does that mean? So what this means is, let's say, for example, if I'm looking at a 2022 BMW 5 Series, what I will do is I will check what is the value of a 2020 BMW 5 Series, and I said, okay, that is the amount of loan that I'll be taking. So let's say, like, a 2022 5 Series today is worth 180,000, let's say, and a 2020 car is worth 140,000. So I will make sure that I have enough down payment to put down, that my loan does not exceed 140,000 ringgit, which means that what this buffer buys me is that at any point in time, all right, whatever circumstances may come up, that I may need to liquidate the car in a hurry. And that means that, and that prevents me from being caught with my pants down. So that buffer ensures that whatever amount that I owe the bank at any point in time is very likely to be below the car's resale value. And that is important. What you see, the thing is that what I've learned in car ownership, as experience in business, is that sometimes it's not about the amount of money you pay, your commitment or whatnot. It's that you want to have that freedom to be able to walk away at any point in time without having to incur extra losses. So my practice, one of my key practices when it comes to deciding how to budget my car. Okay, I'm not those kind of people who use resale value to decide whether or not I'll buy a car, but resale value plays an important factor. Okay, it's an important metric for me in deciding how much loan can I afford to take for that car. So some cars where you know that the resale value is strong, then yes, you can afford to take a higher loan margin. But if you look at the resale value of the car that you're buying, and you see that hey, the thing has loses 30-40% of its value in the first 1-2 years, you better be ready for a bigger down payment, because really, to me, um, the most important thing that you want to be able to is to have that freedom to walk away. The freedom you have, that ability, because what you do not want is that you don't want to be in a position whereby, let's say, like, there's a financial emergency. All right, you want to free that car loan from your commitment, but you can't afford to, because what happened is your your loan balance is more than your car's market value. And at the same time, you are financially squeezed. You are struggling to service the loan. That's the most jialat part, right? But at the very least, if even though if you can't take money back from selling your car, if you just don't have to top up money some more, hey, that's a win. That's a win right there. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I want to say for today's video. Do drop a line in the comment section below. What do you think? What are your decision factors when it comes to deciding, budgeting for your car purchases, how much loan to take, and whatnot. Okay, and also, if you are in the process of exactly what I was describing just now, right? You want to sell your car, but what the used car dealers offering you is below what what you owe the bank, right? Fill in the form in the description section below. Then my team will be in touch. We'll see how we can help you from there. Okay, we'll try to bring you across the line, whereby instead of having to top up money to the bank, you can walk away either without any further losses, or with some additional money in the pocket. Okay, I look forward to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.